Days after Macrone leaves U.S., Trump notices what's missing from White House by that conservative girl. Politics, U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. Last Monday, French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte arrived in Washington, D.C. for a 3-day state visit with President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania. Now that the Macrones are safely back in France, however, people have noticed that an item has gone missing from the White House. Shortly after French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Washington on April 23rd, he and President Trump were filmed planting a tree together on the south lawn of the White House. However, by April 27th, the tree had disappeared and was replaced by a discolored patch of grass. The sapling planted by the two world leaders was deeply symbolic, according to the Blaze. The tree was a gift from the people of France. It initially grew at the site of World War I's Battle of Belleau Wood, in which nearly 2,000 American soldiers were killed. The Battle of Belleau, or whatever wood, took place to the northeast of Paris in 1918, towards the end of the Great War. The U.S. Marine Corps took heavy casualties there, and Macron gave the sapling from the site as a reminder at the White House of these ties that bind us. Of course, when the media noticed that the tree that Trump and Macron had ceremoniously planted was missing, they had a field day. The Associated Press tweeted that a mystery was brewing at the White House. Meanwhile, ABC News called the disappearance something of a mystery. You're kidding me. Something of a mystery has taken root at the White House. An oak tree sapling planted by President Donald Trump and French President Emmanuel Macron has gone missing, reported ABC News. The sapling was a gift from the French president during last week's Ballyhoo state visit. Washington media flocked to the South Lawn Monday to snap photos and shout questions as the two heads of state ceremoniously shoveled the soil on the budding tree. But now, less than a week later, recent photos show an off-color pale patch of turf where the sapling once stood. My goodness. Was last week's state visit so successful that this is the news that the mainstream media has conjured up in a shameless attempt to smear Trump? As it turns out, there's really no mystery at all. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection guidelines, the tree needed to be quarantined before it could be permanently planted. This is a standard practice for any imports of non-native species to the United States, but it is especially important in this instance as some trees in northern France have been affected by a species of moth that has not yet made it to the United States. Give me a break. U.S. Customs and Border Protection rules state that when someone brings plants into the country with the intention of planting them, special restrictions may include post-entry quarantine. This measure is generally intended to mitigate the risk of spreading pests. How long does that take? Many sessile oak trees in northern France are afflicted with a pest called the oak processionary moth, the habitat of which has been spreading north from southern Europe in recent years, most likely due to climate change. Yeah, right, another crock. The moth has reportedly not yet made it to the U.S., although it's becoming a problem in the southeast of England thanks to someone importing live oaks that had eggs in them. Source Fortune. Yeah, okay. How long does it take to check the tree before they planted it? Couldn't they check it? Well, the French ambassador to the United States also clarified that the roots of the tree had initially been wrapped in plastic so that it would not contaminate the ground during the ceremonial planting. Okay. is in quarantine, which is mandatory for a living organism imported to the U.S. It will be replanted afterwards. No, the roots were enclosed in a plastic protection. It was not exposed. The roots remained carefully isolated. Once again, we see the mainstream media has made a giant deal out of a big old nothing burger. It's almost as if they were trying to find something, anything, to prove that the state visit last week wasn't really a resounding success. These so-called journalists are unbelievable. They will literally do anything to smear President Donald Trump, spread the truth. But it takes that long? I guess if they put the roots in plastic, so why wouldn't they tell the people before that instead of, creating such a commotion over it? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.